2028 we will mark the 70th anniversary of establishing of diplomatic relations between our countries. They were established on the 14th of January 1958, and the decades have passed since that date, and they were decades of impressive history. Our relationship were built on a spirit of solidarity and mutual support, which took shape during the early days of Ghanaian independence. And honestly, today I regard the state of Russian-Ghanaian relationship as highly positive and dynamically developing. My initial impressions as the ambassador of Russia to Ghana, following my meetings with the Ghanaian leadership, and they are extremely positive, because they clearly confirm that Ghana is a reliable and promising partner for Russia in the region of West Africa. We see a sincere willingness on the part of Ghana, of our Ghanaian partners, to strengthen our long-standing and friendly ties. Particularly as President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who was educated in Russia and keeps good memories of Moscow, is our like-minded partner on many issues. And as regards our economic performance, it speaks for itself, because trade between our countries has grown from $247 million in 2022 to more than $800 million in 2024. And Ghana, in its turn, has demonstrated impressive macroeconomic stability, because by the end of 2025 it had risen to 8th place among African countries in terms of GDP. So, taking into account our solid friendship, my efforts as Russian ambassador will focus on certain priority areas. We know that Ghana pursues a pragmatic and multi-vector foreign policy. And Russia, we intend to take our political dialogue with Accra on a qualitatively new level, including coordination of our efforts within the UN and other international organizations. Our countries stand united in upholding the principles of just world order. A striking example is the recent vote at the UN General Assembly on Resolution 80-250. Ghana took the initiative to recognize the slave trade of Africans as crime against humanity. And Russia did not merely vote in favor of that very important document. It became one of the most active supporters of the resolution. And we strongly condemned the stance of the countries that voted against the document. They are the United States, Israel, and Argentina, and those who abstained from voting. Practically all the European Union countries and the United Kingdom. In my opinion, this highlights their hypocrisy and unwillingness to take responsibility for colonial crimes. Moreover, Russia offered tangible, concrete, practical assistance, like the Institute of African Studies of the Russian Academy of Sciences expressed its readiness to provide its scientific and legal expertise to help our Ghanaian partners to quantify the claims for reparation. Of course, with partnership with African researchers. And this episode is not merely a diplomatic success for Ghana. It is a moral choice that brings our people closer together. It proves that our relations are built on shared values, on respect for the history, and on our mutual commitment for justice. And of course, we see enormous untapped potential in our trade and economic ties as well, not only political dialogue. Ghana is keen to modernize its economy and sees Russia as a partner in achieving a technological leap forward. And as Russian ambassador, my efforts will, among others, be directed towards involving Russian business in the implementation of Ghana's macroeconomic policy, including the national 24 hours economy strategy. To that, I can add the issue of education, which has always been and remains a hallmark of our cooperation. There are currently more than 600 Ghanaian students studying in Russian universities. And we are going to expand this area of cooperation, including the training of engineers, specialists in other areas. And our plans also include increasing of educational scholarships provided by our government, developing Russian language teaching programs in Ghana, and of course supporting youth experiences and academic exchanges. We want every Ghanaian to feel like a welcome guest in Russia, and we want also that every Russian feels the same in Ghana. I'm deeply convinced that we'll be able to take our partnership to a completely new level, one that will serve interests of peoples of our countries. And I'm also deeply convinced that Ghana and Russia have every opportunity for successful cooperation. So I am determined to do my best to contribute to this.
Okay, so those are great remarks and thoughts there. Let's look at the Russia-Africa summit. What are some outcomes that Russia seeks to achieve at the end of this summit?
Okay, the forthcoming Third Africa Summit is truly a key event, not only in our foreign policy calendar, but also on the entire global agenda. It will take place in Moscow on the 28th and 29th of October this year.
Right.
And we expect that it will mark a crucial milestone, if I can put it like this, in the shaping of a new, more just, multipolar world. And for us in Russia, this summit is not just a ceremonial event. It's not just a case of protocol issues. It can represent an important platform for moving from mere words to concrete, tangible actions and deeds. We are focused on achieving important, tangible results that will consolidate our strategic partnership with African countries for the years to come. And the main document we plan to adopt during that summit will be a new action plan for Russia and African Partnership Forum. This plan will be adopted for 2027-2029. It will replace the existing, the current document of the same nature, and will serve like a roadmap for our cooperation between Russian and African countries, and setting out the agreements reached and defining new objectives. And on the basis of the experience of the second summit, which took place in 2023, yes, we know that then more than 160 agreements were signed on different levels. So this time we expect to conclude an absolutely new package of bilateral and multilateral documents with our African partners in different fields, including economy, trade, investment, culture, and education. And the summit's agenda covers not only traditional areas such as cooperation in the field of energy, including nuclear power. Another main focus would be also digital technologies and artificial intellect. So, and of course, cooperation between us and our African partners in those areas. A discussion will be also focused on the creation of reliable and independent payment system, which is a very crucial topic, because it may help and it will strengthen the financial sovereignty of both Russia and Africa. And in our view, we regard Ghana as an important player, which has a special role in the preparation for that important event in Moscow. We consider Ghana as one of our, I would say, most reliable partners in West Africa as a whole. In March this year, we had bilateral consultations between high representatives of ministries of foreign affairs of our two countries. They took place in Accra. And among others, those consultations focused on preparations for the summit. And I can state that our Ghanaian partners are making an important contribution in defining the key areas of cooperation between Russia and Africa as a whole during the summit. Russia's vision is based on understanding that the entire world is ceasing to be unipolar, and that Africa, the African continent, is playing one of the leading roles in that process. Economic and demographic trends on the continent, as well as Africa's desire to independently determine its development, they all define Africa's role as one of the most important pillars of emerging multipolar and more just world. Africa is about to play an increasingly significant role in global politics. Not only politics, but also the economy and finance on global level. And Russia is truly determined to help our African friends to strengthen their positions and find their place in this new context. So our approach is, I would say, determined on the principles of solidarity with Africa, on mutual respect, on equality and non-interference into affairs of each other. This fundamental principles distinguish Russia from other countries, from the colonial approach of certain powers in the West. And we know that that kind of approach held back the development of the entire continent for decades. So to conclude, answering this very important question, I can say that forthcoming summit is not merely a meeting, but rather a manifestation of a new geopolitical reality. It is an opportunity for both Russia and Africa, including, of course, Ghana, to work together to build a just and multipolar world, where every country has the right to choose its own path of development.
Okay. Thank you.
So, is it enough?
Yeah.